Miami, Florida State, man. Man, what a game this is going to be, man. And and the biggest question is for Florida State, how do you respond? Right? You lost to Virginia, right? And that was a trap game. It was. I don't care what anybody say. That was a trap game for obviously Florida State because you come in, you got confidence, you didn't beat Bama, you didn't handle your business all year long. You're blowing out teams, and whoa, it's Virginia for real. 3-1 coming into the year. They're running the ball well, right? Obviously got Morris who's throwing the rock well. When you come in and are you able to win that game? And credit them because they were up in that game, Virginia, and they ended up responding. It was just too little, too late. Obviously, late in that game, man. But how do you respond, right? I think if Florida State doesn't lose that game, ESPN College Game Day is there, right? Miami, Florida State, they're going to show that game. But obviously, this game has a lot of magnitude. It's a rivalry, right? This is the game at the end of the day. If you're a Miami Hurricane or if you're a Florida State Seminole fan, you're like, yeah, we got to win this game, right? And I love it. I feel like to a degree, ACC has kind of liked this a little bit over the last few years, maybe the last half decade of just having rivalries inside the conference. Of course, you got Clemson in there. We just haven't seen those, okay, yeah, this is a game we got to watch, right? And I feel like that's what it is. And that's why it's on ABC, right? But how does Tommy look this upcoming game against Miami? Now, look, this is the best defensive front they faced all season. Respect to Alabama. I know they faced them this year, but this is the best defensive front. Ruben Bain, and Messendor are a problem, right? So you got to be able to have something for Ruben Bain in this game. 22 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks already this year. That boy ain't playing, right? So if you Florida State. So how do you establish the run in this game is going to be one of my biggest questions, right? We know that you obviously share. We know you got a really good backfield. You got a true freshman that's pretty good, right? And obviously Usman Kroma, right? Now I know he's not starting, but you obviously got Sawchuk who's been doing his thing in this game, 234 yards. And if you Miami, you face another dual threat quarterback, right? So you're gonna have to be disciplined in this game and make sure that you don't get confused on looks. But Kroma is the one I mentioned, obviously, right here, y'all. Right? True freshman, already 174 yards, 28 carries. They feature him a good bit. He's a battering ram, right? And he's a guy like if you get down, if you're in Miami, it could be a long night because they're gonna run him the ball, give him the ball a lot, and kind of just lean on you a little bit, right? So if you Florida State, you gotta establish the run. That's where it starts for you, right? Sawchuk, Castellanos, Chroma, that's what I'm looking at first, right? And get Castellanos in a rhythm, right? Because you see it early on, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Like, stats ain't gaudy, but we know he's a problem with his legs. You got to get him in the rhythm early. Quick flat routes for the running backs, hitches, digs, things to get him going early in this game if you want a potential chance. If Florida State gets off to a slow start, I don't think they win this game. You got to get off to a fast start in this one if you want to have a chance. Now, we know you got receivers on the outside that can damage you. We know about Robinson with the 3 touchdowns on the year, nearly 400 yards receiving. We know about Dancy as well. They got some weapons on the outside. We know about Squirrel White, too, who's another underrated player. But can you establish that run? Can you attack in them seams of that defense? That's much improved this year for the Hurricanes. Those are the keys, obviously, for Florida State to come out with a victory. Now, if you're Miami, man, do what you do best, man. Right? We seen the game against Florida, right? Passing game wasn't good. It wasn't. Right? And Carson Beck struggled. He did not have a good game. So the keys for this one for the Hurricanes, right? You got some dogs in the backfield. You got a Mark Fletcher, right? And you got weapons on the outside, right? You look at CJ Daniels, right? You look at obviously Malachi Tony, true freshman who's looked good this year. So the key for you is get those guys going early too, right? If you struggle early offensively, your defense is going to be able to make the plays and continue to get you into a rhythm. Right? This defense has played some of the best complementary football you'll probably see this year, right? So if you're the Hurricanes, you just need Beck to not turn over the ball, right? Now, if you got early turnovers, man, it might be a long night. But if you can take care of the football, lean on them trench work with Francis, obviously Bain and Messendor, you got a shot in this game. No doubt about it. So I'm going to go with my Hurricanes, man. I think they're going to be able to come out on top. I think it's going to be a tough game. You go on the road. Tallahassee, and it's a big one for Florida State because if you lose, that's pretty much it for your college football playoff chances. I don't see too many more games that can help you, right? Clemson's obviously on schedule, but Clemson's 1-3. Clemson would have to win out and, that game to be probably relevant when they play later on in the season. So if you Florida State, it's a big game because it's a resume-defining win. And then you got 2 teams at the height of the ACC with a loss, right? So if you're Florida State, you got to win at home. It's a quality win for you, top 5 AP win. It's only going to help you in your SOS, your strength of schedule, this season. So it's a must win for Florida State, whether you guys want to admit it or not. Must win. But I'm going to roll with my Hurricanes, man. I believe in Mark Fletcher. I believe in our running game. I believe in Coach Cristobal and what he can do with the weapons on the outside. I'm going with my Hurricanes, man. Big time dub, for Miami. All right. So that is that game, man. Let's look at another one. Florida, Texas.